Hey guys, it is Friday here in West Virginia, and we have a brand new casting from Greenlight to show you guys. I was going to wait until Monday to do it for my Mopar Monday video, but I couldn't wait. This casting is awesome. They did a fabulous job with it. It's one of the best things I've seen from Greenlight since they first started back in the early 2000s. And the car, just everything about it's perfect. And I will show it to you guys, but let me grab a couple cars to match it up with. Actually, I'm just going to grab one because this is the one I need. Here's the Auto World Challenger. I have some of the Stance Hunters, but we've already done the comparison of Stance Hunters and Auto World. So I'm just going to show you the Auto World next to the Greenlight to compare for scaling, because Auto World always claims to be true 64 scale. And the Stance Hunters matches up perfectly with the Auto World. So does the Greenlight. That was one thing I was really worried about with the Greenlight one. But it is awesome. It is totally 100% 164 scale when compared to an Auto World. So here's the car that I'm talking about. This is a 2023 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. It appeared, I guess, at the Vegas convention in 2024 or maybe even 2025. And I think it was teamed up with AWSOME, like the Tarmac one was, but I'm not sure on that one. But I do know that's when they were showing the casting. That was green. There may have been another color too, but those things, people want a lot of money for them. I don't think they're worth it, but the casting is a really badass casting. As you can see, this is a whole new series for 2025. Showroom floor. Greenlight revamped their logo, where it says GL with some green stripes there, and the original Greenlight writing underneath the GL. So that's pretty cool that they did that. The artwork on the card is fairly nice. It's just an art print of the actual diecast or an actual Hellcat. And then you see, it says Series 7, but there may be other series. So maybe this isn't the first one. But anyways, this is the first one with this style packaging, with the curve to it, where it's cut like that. And I'll show you another really sweet feature once we get this open. But looking on the back side, showroom floor, Series 7. I gotta look that up. I don't remember the first 6 ones, but unless it had a Mopar that I wanted, then probably I didn't even pay any attention. So here you have a 2023 Dodge Challenger Hellcat, which is in our hand, the 2024 Ford Mustang GT, a 2024 Ford Bronco, a 2024 Ford Explorer, 2024 Chevy Tahoe, and a 2024 Jeep Gladiator. So everything is brand new pretty much in this series, or at least just 1 or 2 years old. So pretty cool set. I seen the rest of them on eBay. They all look pretty good. And this car is going to be released in a couple of other series, but they made another casting of it, and it doesn't have the wide body flares on it. I think like the Black Bandit one is based on the 2016. And then there's also a hitch and tow set coming up, which I want to get. I haven't seen any pictures of it yet. Just some art prints of it. What's coming up, it is the Durango towing a Challenger, and I'm not sure if it's a Hellcat or the regular body Challenger. I'm not sure, but anyways, let's get this guy out of the package and take a look at him. And I've already cut the back of the package where I could flip it open like a door, but these packages were hard for me to cut, so I haven't pulled this car out. I just kind of cut this right before the video. So the thing that I was talking about that's really cool about the package when you pull it out, check this out, guys. It's like a little display case inside. The ends and the base are acrylic, but the top is just a PVC plastic like your blister. And another thing that's really cool, it's locked in with like a keyhole, like the skeleton keys for doors. It's kind of shaped like that, and you have to twist it and it pops right off. There's no screws, nothing like that. And to get the PVC plastic dome off, you just kind of pull back on one side and then it comes off, as you can see. And the paint, everything about this car is absolutely beautiful. The stripes, the paint, the wheels, they did a really good job with too. The only thing that's a downside compared to like, and you just turn that like this. You turn it counterclockwise, and it pulls off. As you can see, the keyhole there, and then you have two little ears there where the female or the male end slides in on the base. So once you do crack them open, you can display them in those little display cases. I don't even know what I call it. It's like a quarter circle dome, something like that. But anyways, the car is great looking, nice detail. You got your Hellcat emblem on the fender leg, does have mirrors, which is awesome. And the A-pillar, they did not mess it up. No offense against Auto World, but I hated how they put that wedge in there, and they didn't put the side mirrors on it. So I'm not sure about that, why they did that. I just don't like that on the Auto World. And then at first they were painting those little areas black so you didn't see them. I'm trying to get that to focus. Sorry. There we go. So you got your detailed tail lights, which are just tampos and a Dodge emblem. And the stripe even goes down onto the plate. It's kind of crazy. So that's cool. And the mirrors are hard plastic, so you got to be very careful or you will break them. The front end has a nice mesh grille detail. Headlights are painted. No opening hood. It is sealed. Nothing to open on this car at all. The base is nicely detailed. Unlike some of their stuff they were doing a couple years back where it's just really bland and just like blocked areas for the axles. Didn't look too appealing. This looks a little better. Still lacking a little bit of detail, but it's not too bad. And it is metal on metal. And the interior looks decent is what I can see of it. But the wheels are nice. They look like the stock Mopar wheels. The only thing I have something against it, I thought it would be a bigger problem than what it is. It's not that big of a problem, but the track of the rear end and the front end. As you can see, the front tires are a little bit narrower than the rear tires. And the area that you have to work with if you want to wheel swap it is not very big. So if you want to put a reversed offset wheel that's pretty wide, you're going to have to grind into the base and try to notch it out to clear your wheel and tire. Now, the other one that you've seen in the thumbnail picture, that is one I did a wheel swap on. And I thought it was not going to accommodate these wheels too well, but it did better than I thought. So as you can see, looks pretty sweet with these 5-spoke wheels. These wheels came off an M2 G10 van, the Turtle Wax one. And they just work perfect on these Challengers. I have an Auto World one I put a set on too. So anyways, now let's get this guy out of the package and take a look at him. And I'll show you how I got these wheels to fit as well as I did. Once again, cool little display case. Really, really like that idea that they had. They're not stackable, I don't think, but still, it's a cool idea. Oh, sorry guys. I unlocked it before I took the dome off, thankfully. I almost dropped the car. That's why the camera started shaking. I tried to catch it. So as you can see, these wheels look really good. I got it to fit right into the wheel well, under the flares pretty well. As you can see there, it matches up really good. So it's utilizing the wide body the way a car should. When it has wide body, you should have reverse offset wheels. That's one thing I have against some of the JDM stuff. They use like standard offset wheels. They're wider, but they don't have a deep dish. They use like a wider rear end, which I would have narrowed the rear end and put a deep dish wheel in it, on it like this. And you can see the front ones, the axle's a little bit long, but still, if you get it to like match up perfect, it does utilize the flares, sticks out just a hair, not too bad. The fronts are skinnier than the rear. And the fronts do have a reverse offset, so it does look pretty good. But that's one wheel that could have had like a kind of a standard offset and it wouldn't have been that bad. But yeah, this thing is really sweet looking with these wheels on it. Now, what I had told you earlier, I brought out that Auto World one so you could see how well Greenlight did with scaling on this Challenger. See, the length is the same, almost identical. The width is the same, pretty much. And then, like, the thickness of the quarter panels and, like, your B-pillar and such, pretty much the same. I think on the Greenlight, it's a little more defined than what it is on the Auto World. And it is a very nice looking car. And you can see the Auto World wheels are pretty much similar to the Greenlight wheels. That's why I said Greenlight did pretty good with the wheels for a stock one. And then, like, undercarriage detail, pretty much the same thing. The Auto World one is a little more detailed, but not by much. It's just a little bit. And then the tail lights and such on the rear, pretty much the same thing, where they have, I don't know, painted Tampo tail lights. And then the grill and such is pretty nice. I think the Greenlight one has a little more detail on the grill than the Auto World. The headlights are pretty similar. I think not Greenlight, but Auto World did a better job nailing it with the inside lights. The way it just has the LED type of rim around the light. The Greenlight one, they went a little bit big with the Tampo there, but it's okay. I mean, in my book. And as I said, they both have their pros and cons. Greenlight doesn't have a detailed engine with an opening hood. And the Auto World does, but they don't have side mirrors, and they put that funky wedge in there by the A-pillar. I guess to strengthen the casting. That's the only thing I can think of why they did that, because it does not look very good, and I don't know why they stopped using the black Tampo on them. They just stopped caring, I guess, and started launching them with the wedge area painted the same color as the car. This one I actually blacked out with a Sharpie. Oh no, this is one that they did. Sorry, I do have some that I blacked out with a Sharpie, but that's not one of them. So that's what I'm going to do to all of them eventually. So anyways, guys, that's it for our Free It Friday. As I said, I couldn't wait for Mopar Monday, but we will still unbox some Mopars for Mopar Monday or do a showcase. Not sure what we got coming up. And then this weekend, I don't know if we'll be back or not. I got to go to Walmart later today. We'll see what happens, what we find there. If we find something cool, we'll unbox it over the weekend. If not, we'll see you again on Monday. So enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching.